As I said earlier, the gun is very strong. It's very strong because it has a huge locking block. This is the locking block right here. And it hinges back here in the receiver. And it's also the cartridge carrier. When we pump the gun, this will drop down. When we close the gun, it'll come back up and lock behind the lug on the bolt right here. And that's the front part of the bolt. It covers about half of it almost. I'll pump the gun and show you what happens. Carrier's down. A shell would have come down out of the magazine and dropped into place. We raise it. Now, the gun is kind of unique in that you notice that the end of the barrel doesn't have anything for headspace. The cartridge goes in and just ends on this, it just stops on the end. That doesn't seem right, does it? Most guns, you know, have a rim cut to accept the rim of the case. And if we look inside the chamber, the receiver, we see a ring in here. It's called the chamber ring. If you check it, it's the size of a 12-gauge shell. That is the first quarter of an inch of the chamber. It stays in the receiver. It's called the chamber ring, and they are difficult to fit. You have to have a special set of reamers, and for that reason, you can't go randomly swapping barrels on Winchester Model 12s or Winchester Model 97s because it's a spring right here. See that flex? I can rotate that, I think, so you can see more of it. Yeah, okay. See that? Now what happens is when the gun is pumped and locked up, the shoulder inside the forearm tube butts up against that. Now there's a couple of variations, but this is the most common. Unscrew this screw and lift out the lock. And it's out. And then the adjusting sleeve will simply unscrew. I'm going to put it back right now. You slide it in and make sure that the teeth engage. Now I had it on the first set, so I'm going to put it back. First set of serrations right there. But you can see how that works. Trying to put the hammer strut into the mainspring. You see that, so it's hooked up. You can assemble without having it hooked up, and then it's a pain in the rump. Now we're going to put the sear in. We're not going to put the sear spring in, because if you remember right, with the sear spring in, the sear has a tendency to get in the way of the trigger guard, so we're going to leave it out for now.